This week at Bungie, we start shaking up the sandbox. Welcome to the Twab. Oh shit. We got a lot to cover today, so I'm going to skip the small talk and get into it. Yesterday, assistant game director and mustache enthusiast, yeah, Joe does have a cool mustache, Joe Blackburn went out on Twitter and talked about some of our upcoming plans regarding Destiny 2 PvP. Ahead of the showcase this month, I wanted to take a little time to talk about Destiny PvP. Okay. Please give the whole thread a read before the TLDR crew. The main thing is we want everyone to know that we have a plan. It's going to take some time, and we're excited about the future, creating a more consistent delivery of PvP content each year. Like when Trials came out during that season of Crucible. Remember that? Yeah. The best of your ability. Our teams have been hard at work putting together a lot of changes for next season. We decided to break out upcoming sandbox changes into 3 parts. This week we were covering abilities. Next week we will talk about armor and mods. Then we will touch weapons during the final week before the end of the season. Damn, they're not trying to break hearts early, I see. Here's Combat gameplay designer Eric Smith to give you the rundown on how Guardians' abilities will be evolving next season. Eric Smith, hey Guardians, we've been hard at work on an ability balance patch for season 15. But before we get into balance changes, here's some info about a quality of life change debuting in season 15. We're separating melee actions. Hello? Yo, my phone finally worked. Y'all finally heard me? Yeah, I'm tired of dying because I got a melee motherfucker that's like behind me. I can't even see them, and I melee them sometimes. Know what I'm saying? I'm tired of this shit. Yeah, thank you, man. All right, know what I'm saying? We back. Have you ever tried to throw a throwing knife at a approaching Screeb only to instead lunge forward and slap the Screeb in his gross exploding face? You ever try to throw smoke to go invis and you mellow the shit out of the biggest dude in the room, aka Overload Champion Minotaur? Like, you ever done that? Yeah, me neither. Oh my god. Have you ever accidentally wasted your hard-earned melee charge on a sad lone dreg? If so, there's hope in introducing separate melee actions. Starting next season, you'll be able to bind your charge melee attack and your uncharged melee attack to several inputs, giving you greater control of when you use your abilities. This is an opt-in feature, and these new actions will be unbound by default. When you go to customize your control, you'll see the following new entries and action lists. Auto melee is a new name for the melee action that you're used to. Your melee is context sensitive, and its behavior will change on your equip ability and your proximity to enemies. It usually does its job well, but will occasionally betray player intent. Charge melee is a new action that will always activate your charge melee ability upon button press. Regardless of whether enemy is in lunge range, press an input when your melee ability is not fully charged will perform no action and cause the melee ability icon to flash red, similar to how the grenade ability works. Uncharged melee is a new action that will always activate your uncharged melee even when your charge melee is fully charged. It's fairly straightforward, but here are some things to note. Melee attack triggers as soon as the button is pressed, not when it's released. Melee attacks don't wait to see if you're still holding the button before starting. This means you can't set any of the melee actions to a long press or double press input. Game controllers have a limited number of inputs, so you may need to get creative with how you map your controls. Personally, I like to put charge melee, RB/R2, and uncharged melee on right stick, click R3. This doubles up the finisher and uncharged melee actions on right stick, click R3, which will prioritize finishing enemies over meleeing them if the enemy is in the finishable state. Okay. If you assign charge melee and uncharged melee to the same input, it will always prioritize the charge melee over the uncharged melee, which is the opposite behavior of the older melee action. I think I would use that though. If they're both the same, it's going to prioritize my charge melee. Okay, that's actually pretty good. To use these new actions on keyboard and mouse, open the settings menu, click on keyboard mouse, scroll down to charge melee, and charge melee and assign them to an input. To use these new actions on controller, open the settings menu, go to controller, button layout, custom, scroll down to charge melee and uncharged melee and assign them to the input. We hope you enjoy this new functionality, and we hope it saves your bacon from time to time. That is way better. Thank you. Long-term ability plan. Last season, Sandbox lead Kevin Yanis laid out our vision for how we see subclass abilities fit into the Destiny 2 sandbox moving forward. Our philosophy for ability design is that abilities should complement the core combat of Destiny, but not dominate it. It should enhance the game's gunplay, but not replace it. The changes we're introducing in Season 15 will help set the stage for those larger systemic ability changes. In the coming season, we'll be focused on adjusting how often abilities can be used in a crucible specifically. Please stay tuned for more info about that. Season 15 Ability Balance Pass. With Season 15, we prepared a slew of balance changes to raise up underperforming subclasses and tone down overperforming subclasses. Without further ado, here are the ability changes we'll be making in Season 15. Damn, I don't like the toning down of overperforming, but whatever. General abilities, Stasis Freeze. The goal of these changes is to make being frozen by stasis less frustrating. Previously, players who were frozen in the air had to wait until they hit the ground to start the breakout process. What? I didn't know that. Additionally, we're shortening the window of vulnerability between breaking out of the stasis encasement and losing the damage resistance it provides, and getting back to weapon ready so you can fight. Frozen players can now initiate breakout while airborne, shorten breakout animation and camera transition. This means that once you decide to break out, you'll be able to fight back sooner. Differentiated long freeze and short freeze visual treatment to make each status easier to identify. Slide. Oh shit, what is happening here? The goal of this slide change is to slightly reduce the effectiveness of sliding into engagements to gain the upper hand. Even after the shotgun changes we made last season, sliding into every engagement with a shotgun or any weapon is still incredibly effective, and run and gun playstyles are very low risk. This is a change that looks scarier on paper than it feels in practice, in our opinion, and we'll continue to monitor how it plays out. Yo, why would they mess with sliding? While sliding, players now incur the following weapon penalties: -20 stability, +15 shotgun pellet spread, and 1.5 times flinch. How come they didn't just say just in PvP and not PvE? Like, why are they touching sliding in the first place? Is this because they feel like PC is going to be very superior against console when crossplay comes around? Is it because they feel like every crucible play that's really good like slides to the encounters? I don't understand why this is a thing, but we'll see how it plays out. Like they said, it looks scary on paper than it does in practice. Titans. Oh, okay. This barricade variant doesn't see much use, so we made changes to make it a more viable option. It retains the same reload speed benefit as before while adding other weapons buffs. Standing behind the rally barricade now also provides the following weapon buffs: +30 stability, +10% range, and -50% flinch. Oh, yikes. So what you saying is people gonna be sniping people through here because they're not flinching and they get more range? What in the hell? All right, well, I don't need to slide anymore. I'll just put up a barricade in the corner and just wait for people. All barricades. Currently, certain fast moving abilities allow you to speed up through an enemy barricade while taking minimal damage. The goal of this change is to make players think twice before dashing through a barricade to engage the Titan on the other side. Barricades can still cause lethal damage, but dashing through one should now always leave you with a silver of health. Players moving at high velocity now take more damage when moving through hostile Titan barricades. I didn't even know that. Barricades now slightly protrude into the ground to better protect the Titan feet on uneven ground. And that means I'm running more resilience for my Titan anyway. This should reduce instances where explosions and projectiles are able to sneak through the bottom of the barricade and hit the Titan. That means I don't need recovery at all. That means more resilience for me. Behemoth. As you may remember, midway through last season, we released a portion of the stasis related changes originally intended for this release. We're pretty happy with the effect those changes have had on the crucible, because I don't know what this is. I thought it was released, but it says releasing. This shit fucked with me because I was trying to read it, but I didn't, like, the fuck is releasing? Like, what huh? Hello? Yo, who put, yo, what the fuck is releasing, huh? We made some adjustments that should help these abilities feel better. In this case, the cryoclasm change we made last season made it difficult to use cryoclasms to shatter targets that were close to you. This change enabled the behemoths to shatter nearby targets even if they don't have enough space to get a running start. We also believe we overdid the movement speed nerfs to behemoths last season, which hurt the viability of Shiver Strike, especially during the Glacial Quake Super. We increased the movement speed to make this feel better. With this patch, we're also fixing the bug where the Whisper Rhyme Overshield wasn't properly scaling precision damage, causing it to be significantly beefier than intended, which primarily impacted Tectonic Harvest behemoths. Cryoclasm while equipped base slides now shatter crystals and frozen enemies. Increase the duration of screen effects notifying players that Cryoclasm long slide is ready from 1 second to 4.5 seconds. Shiver Strike increased movement speed by 25%. Whisper Rhymes fix a bug with overshield provided by Whisper Rhymes was not scaling precision damage correctly. Middletree Sunbreaker. We're extending the throw and hammer lifespan to allow Titans more time to finish an engagement and still pick up the hammer before it vanishes. We also felt that it could deal more damage against orange and yellow bar enemies. Also, the new charge melee actions allows you to throw your hammer point blank at an enemy, which is pretty badass. Throw and hammer increase time before hammer explode after hitting the ground from 6.5 to 10 seconds. Increase damage versus powerful PV combats by... Oh, okay. They really try and get us to use that. Top and bottom Tree Striker. Some of the game melee-based supers are at a bit of a disadvantage in today's sandbox, so we decided to give them a few of them some love. In the future, we'll be looking at ways to reduce the disparity between melee supers and ranged supers in a more sustainable way. Fist of Havoc. Increase slam detonation radius by 14. Reduce slam damage fall off. Reduce slam attack activation cost from 21 to 18%. Okay. People probably still not gonna use it, but whatever. Middletree Striker. This change will be balanced out by something we haven't mentioned yet. We'll say more about this in the future Twab. Inertia Override. Increase duration from 4 seconds to 6 seconds. Sliding over an ammo brick now grants 20% melee energy. Oh, okay. See how that goes. Top Tree Sentinel. The following changes refer to Ward of Dawn bubble itself and not players inside the bubble. Currently dropping the Ward of Dawn on top of a boss is no brainer because it's so effective. The goal of this change is to reduce the breath. What the fuck is this word? Is this supposed to be bread or is this supposed to be breath? God damn it. My brain hurts. What is this word? Ah, shit. Maybe they meant like the size of the encounters. I don't know. But the goal of this change is to reduce the breadth of encounters solved by Ward of Dawn and make burly bubbles a conscious choice by the Titan. Ward of Dawn, increased damage taken from bosses from 0.25 to 7 times at 0 resilience. What damage taken can scale down to 0.25 based on the owner's resilience stat. Okay, so the Ward of Dawn now is going to be stronger depending on your resilience. Hey, look, more resilient stuff. Let's go. Ah, shit. This is the right word. My bad, dog. I'm just an idiot sometimes. Or am I? Anyways, Hunters. Revenant. Last season, we reduced the radius of the silent freeze. That change has played out well, requiring the Revenant to be more precise with their silent throws. Even now, silence feels like the scary part of the super, and we want Squall to feel more dangerous. Currently, the Squall Storm is slow enough that you can kind of ignore it or fight until it gets close and then relocate. With this speed change, we want players to prioritize relocating when they see an approaching Squall. Additionally, Squall will now stop when it touches a boss, which should make it better for single target boss damage. Oh, thank God. However, there's a known issue where the Squall will not start moving again if the boss moves or die. We hope to further improve this behavior in a future release. We feel we hit Withering Blade slightly too hard in the last season's stasis balance. The following change should make it slightly easier to land while keeping the damage and slow duration at a reasonable spot. Silence the Squall, increase Squall movement speed by 20%. Squall Storm now stops when it touches a boss. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Withering Blade, increase projectile speed and tracking by 10%. Middletree Gunslinger. We like to give hunters a large window to defeat burning enemies and trigger the plane with fire perk. As such, we're giving the knife trick a 25% buff. Increase burning duration from 3 seconds to 4 seconds. Bro, that shit on this. Come on, son. Like this whole shit right here deleted. Huh? 1 second? You know, I am a 1 second man. So I guess, you know, like, know what I'm saying? I guess. Okay, cool. Top Tree Gunslinger. This super has been through a lot. We had intentionally reduced the effective range of 6 shooters several seasons ago to balance it against Bottom Tree Golden Gun. This change was then unintentionally reverted at some point due to an unrelated integration mishap and then later de-reverted. In any case, we're extending to lethal range of this super a little to reduce how often it requires 2 shots to kill in the crucible. 6 shooter damage fall off now starts at 25 instead of 20 meters. Okay. Arc Strider. As we mentioned previously, melee supers such as Arc Staff are struggling a bit in today's sandbox where players move extremely fast. Weapons hit extremely hard and ranged supers handily win duels. We extended duration of and slam range to help alleviate some of the Arc Staff shortcoming, but we'll continue to evaluate super dynamics and search for a solution that doesn't cause power creep. Additionally, Arc Staff needed a little love in high level PvE content, so we'll increase its damage output there. Arc Staff. Extended passive super duration from 16 to 20 seconds. Increase heavy slam detonation radius from 5 to 6. Increase damage versus PvE combatants by 33%. Top 3 Arc Strider deadly reach increased from 8 to 10 seconds. Middletree Light and Weave dealing damage with Tempest Strike now triggers Light and Weave. Timer can now be extended by dealing damage with any weapon. Okay. All right. I still don't really see any change. How about you just revert what you did to the chest piece, you know? There's an exotic chest piece that the hunter used with Arc Strider. Why not like revert whatever like nerf you guys did like at the beginning of the game? I don't know. But to each their own. Radiant Flux was so good. Middletree Night Stalker. Spectral Blaze not only allows its users to go invisible and vanish for radar, but also has one of the highest damage reduction values in the game. As the fantasy of this ability is that of a stealthy assassin and not a stealthy raid boss. We decided to tone down the damage reduction. Looking at the data, Middletree Night Stalker is among the most successful subclass in the Crucible, so this change feels warranted. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? I feel like that's one of the only subclasses that most hunters use. You know, like, it's just, why? Why would you do that? Spectral Blades, reduce damage reduction from super from 52% to 47%. Reduce additional DR when visible from +5 to +3. Why? Like, you know, I'm not even gonna give you a phone call. It's just crazy to me. Warlock, Shadebinder. Winter's Wrath is one of the best dueling supers in the game, capable of quickly and easily dispatching other supers. We're okay with that being a strength of the Shadebinder PvP, but we felt melee supers needed a more of a fighting chance against the Shadebinder. Winter Wrath, reduce Shatter Pulse damage versus close range supers. Warlock must now freeze and shatter twice to defeat players in Burn and Maul, Fist of Havoc, Sentinel Shield, Nova Warp, Arc Staff, or Spectral Blades. Glacial Quake still only requires 1 shatter to defeat. Damn. They really like, damn, okay. Oh shit, this next part about to be like funny as hell. Top Tree Dawnblade is straight up dominant in PvP. Yeah, it was dominant even when Stasis was like really good. So we taking some measures to make it slightly less so. Celestial Fire will now take a little more accuracy to get full damage. Having access to 2 back-to-back Icarus Dash gave the subclass too much position flexibility, allowing for quick long distance flanking and evasion. When playing against a top Tree Dawnblade, it's hard to know if they have an Icarus Dash ready to go, or even if you saw them use one. We're hoping this change makes players playing against TTD more predictable. Honestly, I got nothing against the subclass. It's just a lot of people that play like little bitches. You ever got in a gunfight with somebody and they about to die, so they Icarus Dash and run out of there like little hoe? Yeah, that's my only issue. But damn, Bungie, this is too much right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, why y'all nerfing this all the way down though? Like, that's crazy. Celestial Fire, reduce tracking, cone angle, arm and shape, proximity detonation now shrink over time. Reduce detonation size by 1 meter. Damage fall off increased at short distances. Icarus Dash now provides 1 air dodge every 4 seconds, while under the effect of Heat Rises increases 2 dodges every 5 seconds. So you gotta be on the Heat Rises to do it now. Heat Rises increase duration from 10 to 15 seconds. Okay, so they increase the duration. Increase the time extension awarded for air kills while Heat Rise is active. The extension duration differs based on the type of enemy killed. Your location now appears on enemy radar when using Heat Rises. Oh shit. Oh damn. So that means people can't jump up in the air, hold that shit, and try to snipe you no more. That's crazy. Middletree Dawnblade, like Ward of Dawn, dropping the well on certain bosses no brainer because it's so effective. Hell no, it's not. You die hella quick in the motherfucking well. You got strafe like a motherfucker. We be out here fighting for our lives. The goal of below is to change the reducing of Yo, what's this word again? I mean, I'm kidding. Of the breadth of encounters solved by Well of Radius and make burly wells a conscious choice by the Warlock. Additionally, we like to make Well of Radiance more effective in a crucible. You have more survivability while in the well, and you won't be able to be frozen or slowed by stasis users, making this a free, solid choice when facing it off against stasis. The wall sword can be frozen and shattered, but it takes multiple freezing and shatters before being destroyed. Well of Radiance, increased damage taken from bosses from 0.25 to 1.5. Oh, yo, let's go. Yo, resilience again? Ah, shit. I mean, man, fuck resilience. Recovery all day, you know what I'm saying? Like, and this reverts to the Well of Radiance itself and not players inside the well. And okay, so it's not even for us. It's for like the actual well. That's whack. I take that back. Increased damage resistance buff versus enemies players from 20% to 40%. Players inside Well of Radiance are now immune to stasis freeze and slow. Wall sword can now be frozen and shattered by stasis. Guiding flame increased duration from 7 to 10 seconds. Increased damage buff from 20 to 25%. Okay, all right. I mean, that's whatever though. If you're in the well and you can take that much damage, you should be alright. Bottom Tree Dawnblade. This tree has felt a little lackluster when compared to Warlock other options, so we're giving it some enhanced functionality like the Revenant Shadow Dive. Phoenix Dive can now dive diagonally in the direction of your choosing. Ooh, that's fancy. Bottom Tree Dawnblade has one of the weaker melees attack in the game. You got to defeat an enemy with the melee impact to cause an explosion. With this new rework, anytime you defeat any enemy who is burning or defeat an enemy with any of your solar abilities, they'll explode and put a burn on your nearby enemies. Your charge melee deals a 120 damage and puts a burn on the enemy, meaning you can follow up with another lethal attack and still get the explosion. As a side note, this will be even more effective with the Dawncourse exotic helmet. Okay, I like that. Phoenix Dive reduced the delay before dive starts. Can now input a direction to dive in that direction. Ignition Touch, ability rework. Solar ability kills and kills on burning targets now cause targets to explode and burn other nearby enemies, who will also explode if they die while burning. All right, that seemed pretty nice. Middletree Stormcaller. These changes should lead to less instances of chaos freeze dealing damage to enemies on the other side of a wall. Arc Beam sees high use in the Crucible, in part due to Geomax stabilizers, and is often used as a shutdown super. In future seasons, we'll be looking at Arc Beams to make sure it's not too easy to use in the Crucible. Please, when you change it in the Crucible, increase beam environment collision size to better match collision size with damage size. Reduce beam damage radius in PvP. Thank God you guys are just saying PvP in here. By 20%. Reduce beam endpoint spear radius in PvP by 33%. Hello? Yo. Good job. Yeah, good job. Bottom Tree Stormcaller. Player feedback and data on Bottom Tree Stormcaller indicated that it could use a little love, so we make Arc Soul last a little bit longer and slightly shorten the time between bursts. Landfall felt a little underwhelming, so when we increase the spectacle a bit, it will now fire 5 arc projectiles along the ground in all directions. Oh, snap. That sounds crazy. Cast your super in the middle of a room to electrocute everything around you. Ooh, I gotta see this when it's like released. That sounds dope. Arc Soul increased duration from 12 to 13 seconds. Increased fire rate by 10%. Electrostatic Surge now increased sprint speed when allies are near. Landfall now fires 5 arc ground projectiles on cast. That sounds pretty neat. Through a mix of player feedback data and running through some high level PvE content, we felt the Nova Warp Super needed some attention. Buffing Nova Warp is a dangerous endeavor though, and we'll be monitoring to make sure we didn't overdo it. In PvE, okay, so they ain't say nothing about PvP. Okay, cool. Handheld Supernova was doing a pitiful amount of damage, so we considered to increase its damage output, especially considering the time and proximity costs you paying to charge it up and get within the range of an enemy. We also increased the whole time after charging it to give you more time to throw before it vanishes. Nova Warp, increased damage versus PvE combatants by 73%. God damn! Oh my God! 73%. This is awesome. Handheld Supernova increased damage versus PvP by 100%. Oh my God. 100%. Holy shit. Increase hold time from 2.5 to 3.2 seconds. Why I feel like this shit got 100% is still gonna be doo-doo, like, for real. Like, I'm gonna get hella excited. I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna use it and I'm gonna die and I'm gonna look like this. Like, yo, what the fuck? You told me it was 100%, bro. I can't wait to get disappointed, goddammit. Can't wait. Phew. We omitted some minor changes and bug fixes from this list to avoid bogging down the Twab any more than we already have. For the full list of ability changes, be sure to check out the patch notes when Season 15 launches. While this season changes are focused on balancing the power output of specific abilities, we're hard at work on system level changes that will enable us to create a healthier balance between abilities and gunplay. We hope to share about more of those changes in the future later. All right. Improving the powering up stasis experience. I don't even know what the fuck this means, but I'm here. With Beyond Light, Guardians receive their first taste of wielding the power of darkness, as well as a new way to power up subclasses with aspects and fragments. These subclass mods introduce a new way of evolving and growing a subclass, which drastically impacts how the stasis subclass felt. Yeah, how come light subclasses don't have that shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's up? Hello? Yeah, this is me, light subclass. Yeah, I forgot about me. So I'm like, yeah, we supposed to be the good guys. How come we don't get shit, huh? Guardians who use aspects and fragments experience the true power of stasis, whereas those who have not may feel a bit cold towards it. Even worse, many Guardians may not even know of the extended power offered by aspects and fragments. You know who don't know? All the Guardians use the light subclasses. What the fuck, like? And we wanted to improve that. Starting in Season 15, our Darkness Guide on Europa, that Source Stranger, will now reveal more information on how to complete the task required for earning more stasis power. Yeah? Do we have a lightness guide anywhere? Zavala, you bitch. God damn it. Guardians who have finished the Beyond Light campaign and visit Extra Stranger in Europa will see the entire path for unlocking aspects and fragments. Additionally, many of the pre-requirements for obtaining and completing the Born in Darkness quest chain will be reduced or removed. Previously, Guardians needed to complete several quest chains and unlock Salvation Grip before Stasis will grant them additional power. Guardians that complete the Beyond Light campaign would now have immediate access to the Born in Darkness quest chain from the Extra Stranger in Europa. Extra Stranger also reveals every unknown fragment. You know what? What about the light subclasses, huh? We don't have any fragment. Know what I'm saying? It's not like we don't know them. We don't have any. Regardless of progression through the Born in Darkness quest line, given a preview of the many powers to unlock, with these improvements to messaging, aim at removing a lot of the mystery around power up stasis. So we're excited to see more Guardians unlocking stasis chilling power. Yo, how we getting all this chilling power stasis? Yo, what about the light, man? Oh my God. Crossplay names. After last week's announcement about crossplay and Bungie's names, we wanted to clarify a few things. The display name of the first platform that players log into to play Destiny 2 beginning at 10 a.m. on August 24th will become the player's Bungie name. Player ID numbers, non-standard characters, and symbols will be removed and excluded. If a name violated our code of conduct, it will be changed to Guardian. Name changes won't be available until a later date. For Steam players, your Steam profile name, not your Steam account name, will be your Bungie name. Okay, that's cool. Bungie Foundation campaign item. Oh yeah, so if you're on Steam and you want your name to be whatever it is, make sure you change your profile name. Not your Steam account name, but your profile name. Because then that's going to be your Bungie name for crossplay. Known issues. While we continue investigating various known issues, here's a list of the latest issues that were reported to us, that were reported to us in our help forum. Some players still have sources fragments in the inventory. Logging out and logging back in should remove them. The Sarkadian emblem from the Bungie Foundation given campaign does not appear in players' collections when acquired. This will be fixed in a future update. That was a lot, right? We aren't done yet, and we have more in store for you next week with Armor and Mods. Can't believe it's already August. We're in the home stretch now. Our big showcase is later this month. Can't wait to show you what's coming next. Cosmo. Damn, that motherfucker was beefy. That was a beefy twab, man. Hell yeah.